Today's a really interesting day because, as you noted, the 35th anniversary of the World Wide Web launching, and I'm sure when it was first launched, no one could understand the impact that it would have on today's world. What you're describing is something that has really become helpful to a lot of people, but also at the same time, it's like this double-edged sword where it's pretty insidious. Whose fault do you think this is?
Well, I think we can, it's really not my focus. Let me put it this way. My focus is not to look backward and to point fingers. We all know there's a big problem now. And even people that worked at these big platforms that have left and have shared their perspective have talked about the fact that these platforms know the damage that's being done. This is not just a bug. This is a feature of these platforms. It's to draw us in, is to addict us, is to manipulate us, and that's fundamentally wrong. That's a violation of our human rights, I would argue. And this is what I say in Our Biggest Fight, is that think about this as for me, Thomas Paine was my inspiration, because in 1775 he took a complicated set of issues and it boiled it down to a choice. He said to people pre the United States of America, hey, look, you can continue to be subjects of some king who you've never met, right? And own nothing, be nothing. Or you could choose to be a citizen born with the same rights as that king. So-called unalienable rights. You have rights, you have agency, you have authority, you have choice, you have liberty, you have freedom, you have the ability to own things. And thankfully, our predecessors chose citizenship and democracy and built the United States of America. So my question to you is, why on earth would we give up all those rights and become subjects again in the digital world, controlled now by not somebody in a robe and a crown, but rather these lords of these big platforms who have essentially stripped us of our humanity and have stripped us of our rights. In the digital world, there's no difference between your biological DNA and your digital DNA. One you're born with, the other is your lived experience. We are connected to the internet morning, noon, and night, and it shouldn't be a creepy thing that does harm. It should be something that's optimizing for the strength of democracy, optimizing for us to find real truth, real knowledge, and share it, optimizing for the safety of young children. Why should we give all that up just to use the internet? The internet's a tool that we built that we can alter the design now that we know how powerful it is and how dependent we are on it, so that it works in a way that is pro-people.